poggers. If you're wondering why the background is different, it's because I live at 2 different houses. Most of the time I make my YouTube videos and live streams at this house because my room at this house has more privacy. At the other house, my room is like right next to the living room. Yeah, I'm rich enough to own 2 different houses. Okay, jokes aside, thank you for 10,000 subscribers. It's insane how fast this channel has grown, and I really appreciate you guys liking. Well, I hope you like my content, but I appreciate you guys watching my content. I told you guys that when we hit 10K, I was gonna do a Q&A video, and I asked you guys to ask me questions. And we hit 10K, so now I have to answer those questions. And to the people who ask me questions, you better be watching this video. These are your questions. I'm answering these for you. We also got Garrett back there if he wants to answer any question. Shut up, Garrett. What are you talking about? Garrett, don't make me come. Me and Garrett get along very well off camera, I swear. He may be a pain in the ass sometimes, but he's my roommate. You know, gotta live with it. Bitch, what do you know? First question, without further ado. Well, this person asked S3. Satanic Cyanide 3 says, how long do you expect to stay on YouTube? I don't know. I mean, I've been on YouTube since 2015 on different accounts, but as long as it's going strong, I guess I'll stay. If you had to jump on a trend for the sake of your channel, would you do it? Topic trends like certain analog horrors or some stupid TikTok trend topic trends like certain analog horrors or some stupid TikTok trend people make commentary on. I don't really have an issue with channels following trends. It just makes it a little more difficult for me to find something that everyone else isn't already doing. I mentioned this in my, I think, Super Shotgun video, how a bunch of other channels upload the same story, like the Schoolboy 9 thing. Everyone was talking about that, which isn't a problem because it's an interesting thing to talk about, but I don't think every single channel needs to hop on the same topic. I mean, so far what I've been doing is if there's a topic I find interesting, I'll talk about it if I want. And if I find out that someone already did it, then so what? I still find it interesting. I'll talk about it still. And I guess if I really did need some money, I would jump on a trend like that. There's your warning if you guys see a trend hop video from me soon. Would you please go into the lore of your love for goats? I'm pretty sure I asked you this on a live previously. Garrett, do you know the answer to this one? He's a goat. People think he's a cow. Where am I pointing? People think he's a cow sometimes on live streams. That's a goat right there. That's Garrett the goat. So yeah, if you couldn't tell already, goats are my favorite animal. I got one right here. I have a whole collection of goat plushies. I got this big goat right here. I named him Queso. I think it's a pretty fitting name. Look at him. He's so big and squishy. There is a reason I love goats, but it's a long and personal story that I don't really want to get into yet. But if you want the short and simple answer that I tell everybody, they're cool and they're cute. How can you not like goats? How's your day been? What's your planned content genre? I guess more specific than horror, or if you want to do something else. Thank you for asking how my day's been. It's been going pretty good. I'm having a lot of fun making this Q&A video. I plan to stay in this content genre. I don't really know like what I would call my channel though. I wouldn't even say it's all horror stuff. I've seen some people say that I'm a commentary channel, which is just plain f***ing wrong. I am not a commentary channel. That's an insult. I would say I just cover bizarre, eerie, weird, and sometimes funny topics, I guess. A lot of it kind of has to do with nostalgia and early to mid 2010s internet and YouTube. What niche community are you surprisingly a part of? This feels like a trap somehow, and I don't think I'm gonna answer this question. Do you have a favorite horror game? If so, what is it? I'm not really a big gamer, to be honest with you. I haven't really played a lot of horror games. When it comes to video games, I kind of just like watch YouTubers play them if I'm interested but don't feel like playing. And I like watching YouTubers' reactions whenever like a crazy moment happens in a video game or horror game. Like if a jump scare happens, I want to see how a specific YouTuber reacted to it. I don't know. Video games are also kind of expensive. And I have a MacBook, so the only way I have of playing horror games is Xbox and Nintendo Switch, which, let's be honest, Nintendo Switch can't run shit. There's always Roblox horror games, but I feel like if I talk about Roblox horror games, I will get made fun of. Were you scared of IRL Slenderman as a child? Yeah, probably. I remember playing Slenderman on my Kindle Fire. I remember there being a bunch of Slenderman hoaxes, like people would edit Slenderman in an episode of a cartoon, like Gravity Falls. Speaking of Slenderman, the movie sucked. I cannot believe how horrible the Slenderman movie was. It's so much missed potential. Garrett didn't like the Slenderman movie. That's how you know it's bad. Do you have a wife or partner? No. I'm 18. I'm not married. And contrary to popular belief, me and Garrett are not together. We are simply roommates. I'm not much of a romantic person. I'm not really always looking to be in relationships. In school, it seemed like everyone was getting in a relationship and it would only last like a month or two. So in school, I never really bothered with trying to be in a relationship because I knew that it wouldn't really last long. I only know a few people who are still with their high school partners, so that's good for them. I'm glad they made it that far. But, you know, the average school relationship doesn't last very long statistically. So I never really bothered with that much when I was in school. Favorite Smiling Critters character? Smiling Critters? No thank you. I think you mean Smiling Friends character. Glep. Have you ever heard of Smiling Critters? You mean Smiling Friends? Yes, I have heard of Smiling Friends. Chick-fil-A or McDonald's? McDonald's. I've never eaten at Chick-fil-A before. I'm not really a big fan of fast food chicken, except for Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's is good. Does Garrett have a girlfriend? Just asking, lol. Oh, Garrett. Garrett, someone wants to know if you have a girlfriend. 2000s or 2010s? Well, I was born in 2006, so I grew up in the early to mid 2010s. So, 2010s. 3 questions. Favorite ice cream flavor? Ooh, probably maple. I like maple. Black raspberry is also pretty good. Toy Chica smash or pass? Brother. I think you already know the answer. The pepperonis are getting munched on, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Do you take comment requests? Probably. Why did you change content so abruptly? So on this channel, before I started making the content that I'm making now, I was doing comedy skits, which is quite the abrupt change, but I don't know. I was just like experimenting with what I wanted to make and what would do well. I still include some of those aspects in these videos. I like to mix comedy with horror or whatever the I talk about, and I still don't know what genre my channel is. But yeah, sometimes I'll throw a skit in a video essay or something like that, and I think it works well. I think combining funny with spooky or eerie goes well together. A lot of horror channels or creepy channels, morbid channels, whatever the you call them, I don't know. Whatever you call them, I feel like all those channels take themselves too seriously sometimes, trying to be too spooky and making everything over dramatic, which is fine. You know, I watch all those channels, I like it. But sometimes you want to watch something that's still creepy, but not as morbid and has maybe a little bit of humor in it. So the stuff that I make is what I personally feel like is missing from this genre of content. And that's where I come in. And Garrett doesn't do much. He kind of just sits there in the background and talks sometimes. He keeps asking me for ad revenue. What does he do? You don't even do anything. Why should I give you ad revenue? That's fair, actually, yeah. What do you think is the most interesting, scary topic to talk about? I love liminal spaces and those images of places that feel familiar, like you've been there before as a child. The only reason I don't talk about liminal spaces as much as I'd love to is because everyone else is already doing it and has done it already. I mean, if I feel like making something about liminal spaces, I will do it. But if I wanted to make a video essay about liminal spaces, what would I say? Because everything's already kind of been said about liminal spaces. Everyone knows what they are. Everyone knows the feeling that they give off. It's, you know, I would have nothing new to add to it. About that documentary I might do next year, though, that has something to do with liminal spaces. But that's all I'm gonna say. Hey, become a channel member if you want to find out the synopsis of that documentary. What made you want to do this type of content? I've kind of already answered this question. I'm just making what I feel like is missing from this genre of YouTube stuff. What type of media do you find the most disturbing? And have you ever had a specific topic really stick with you, like you couldn't get it out of your head? Awesome videos, by the way.
Oh my god, thank you! I appreciate the compliment at the end. That's really nice.
Probably true crime. Oh yeah, true crime. There was a point where I was going on a true crime YouTube video marathon, and I just became paranoid of everything around me. Hearing these cases of people being murdered in the most terrifying way possible just really stuck with me and made me have a different view on death as a whole. Like, we really could just like die at any point, you know? And that's kind of why I end my videos every time with, hopefully I'll see you in the next video unless one of us unexpectedly dies. Like, I end my videos saying that as like a joke, and some people were a bit concerned about it, but it's just like a reference to never knowing what can happen next. It's just like a funny, morbid way of ending my videos by saying that. Garrett the Goat always looks like he's hiding a secret. Is this true? What is he hiding? Oh, he definitely has a secret going on. You mind your own business! I'm just realizing how ominous Garrett looks back there in the dark corner of the room. Why are you physically incapable of being good at video games? Okay, yeah, this is my own mod asking this. You're demodded, Isbunk, for asking this question. I will have you know I am not incapable of being good at video games. It just so happens I'm not great at them. Okay, just because it takes me like an hour or two longer than it should to beat a horror game doesn't mean I'm bad at it. It just means I'm logically thinking hard. What's it like being a furry? I'm not a furry. I don't know why, but for some reason, my content seems to attract furries quite a bit. I've noticed an inflation, no pun intended, by the way, and I've noticed an inflation of furries. I gotta word that differently. I've noticed that more furries have been finding my channel and joining the Discord and being a part of my little community. Hey, I'm chill with furries. Furries, I got you. I like your art sometimes, furries, alright? I will say, furries, you got nice art. You guys know how to draw. Do you love Garrett? Well, yeah, as a friend and roommate. I have a love-hate relationship with Garrett. I think you can say the same. What's your biggest fear? One of my biggest phobias ever. This is gonna sound a little silly. I have a metaphobia, which is the fear of vomit and vomiting. And if you, the viewer, were sitting in front of me right now, physically, and you threw up or showed signs, body language, that you were about to throw up, I would be out the door. Out the window. By the way, Hanners, thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate that. And if you guys want to get yourself a channel membership too. Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop plugging that in. I'm sorry. Is Garrett real? Yeah, Garrett's real, I'd say. Garrett, what? Una! Hey, Jay, what's up? I was just curious, what's it like having such a big butt for a guy? Does it jiggle when you walk downstairs? Let me know, Una. Thank you, Una. I know this person in real life. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have much to work with here, Una. I don't know what you're seeing, but it's a figment of your imagination. So I'm gonna shoot that question right back at you, Una, since I don't have an answer. And also, thank you for doing my thumbnail art. Shout out to Una. She did the thumbnail art for this Q&A video. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, do that, because she does art, and she's always looking for art to do. How does to do this someone what as a job? Great question. What the f did you say? Well, YouTube is not my full-time job yet. I would consider it a part-time job at the moment. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out, I guess. Garrett, what's your daily routine? Garrett's daily routine is just sitting there. He does no work at all. He just watches me make the video, then asks me for ad revenue every day. You're not getting ad revenue until you actually help out with something. He takes forever in the bathroom, too. I don't know what he does in there. And then when I get out, the shower drain's clogged, which I don't know how that's possible. He has no hair. To my knowledge, he just has, like, goat fur. What the fuck? So yeah, I don't know. He clogs the shower drain somehow without even having long hair. That beats me. Can you order me some pizza for the basement? No. Stay in the basement. You're not getting fed until Saturday. Starve. Have you ever thought of covering ARGs? No. No. The only ARG The only ARG I covered was the Nutter Butter one, because I thought it was funny. But I'm just like, I'm not a big fan of ARGs or analog horror. It's just not really anything that I've been interested in. People recommend me analog horror and ARGs for videos and live streams all the time, and it's just like, I'm not interested in that, you know? The only way I'll make a video about those things is if I find it interesting enough, like the Nutter Butter one. Otherwise, I'm good. I'll pass on them. What are YouTube recommend, hey, Google undo comment, exit comment, exit undo YouTube comment. I think this person was trying to do, voice to text here. Garrett, can you decipher what he's trying to say? Okay, sure, Garrett, okay. Who's your biggest inspiration? Love your videos, by the way.
Thank you!
My biggest inspiration? Probably channels like Shy Valley, Jaden Salads, maybe a little bit of Papa Meat, maybe a slight sprinkle of Chadtronic, and of course you also got Nick Crowley. Are you powerful enough to balance two marshmallows on your head? I don't have marshmallows with me, but I can do you one better. I can balance a whole Garrett on my head. He kind of looks like a marshmallow. Yes! I did it! How's your day? Like your current day, how's it been? Good. There you go. See, get the cool, like, animation right there. Best day of your life? Probably so far. I went to I'm gonna brag about this every chance I've get. If you've been in my live streams, I've bragged about this at least, like, 10 times by now. I went to a Post Malone concert at Fenway Park, and I got barricade. I got the very front, and he signed my arm, and the next day, I got it tattooed. So this right here is a real signature from Post Malone, tattooed on my skin. What's your favorite childhood cartoon? The Amazing World of Gumball. I love The Amazing World of Gumball. Can't go wrong with it. Do you f with Ben 10? Can't say I ever watched Ben 10. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not a Ben 10 fan. Thank you for 10,000 subscribers. That is epic. I think 2025 is going to be a huge year for the channel, and I'm very excited to see where we go from here. I think that 100,000 is right around the corner. We only have to hit 10K 10 more times. 9 more times, because we already hit 10K, I think. Am I mathing right? Maybe. Follow me on social media, join the Discord. All of that can be found in my link tree in the description of this video. That being said, hopefully I will see you in the next video, unless one of us unexpectedly dies. Thank you for watching.